Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're gonna take a look at what just got released basically through the Pokemon Presents. There's stuff been released for Pokemon Go, there is stuff towards the new main series games, there's stuff to an entire new game, which is something that I kind of want to talk about here today. It's not going to be all about Pokemon Go because Pokemon Go barely got really anything in it. I would love to see, by the way, your opinion about the Pokemon Presents here. If you saw it already, then yeah, feel free to let me know down below. Otherwise, we're just gonna talk about the main points that are affecting at least Pokemon Go. Generally speaking, before we start, I feel a bit disappointed of the Presents here. Not like crazy, or not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna give out about like, oh, like those ungrateful Pokemon fans which you always see like all the time. I just was expecting a little bit more. Like that's all that I can really say about it. I was just expecting a little bit more than what we got here. Especially because the last game release is 3 years ago, so yeah, I was expecting a little bit more, but let's move on to the Pokemon Go part. I'm just gonna mute the things here as well in the background. We'll see here the Unova duo basically got like here shown again. We're going to have like special backgrounds, which we know already. There's nothing special towards that. There's some interesting things though coming up here very soon towards Pokemon Go, which you're gonna take a look at in this video, of course. Of course, we have here in Black, here in White. We can pay for some nice mythical Pokemon, which is great. And here there is a promo code, go to Unova, which you can put into the web store to get a research where you're going to be able to get, I think, like, yeah, from each, like basically you can choose your starter Pokemon, you get the black and your white version of it. So, like, that's what you can do here. Snivy, Tapic, or Oshawott. That's kind of fine. No matter which one you're gonna choose, like, you're just gonna get, I think, both versions of it as far as I know. I think you get a medal as well for it. So do that, go to Unova. There are a ton of other codes as well, by the way, which are all, for example, here on Galax channel. So like here, if you want to go on to X, there are a ton of codes for energy. There has been some codes for like the last week as well for the genies, if we go a little bit further down. So if you want to put them all in here, you can just stop the video as well and just put them in. But one more thing as well, currently if you go into Pokemon Go, you see that the Go-To Pikachus are going to spawn right now. So definitely check them out already. They're going to spawn a little bit now before the Unova tour as like a little bit of a small bonus. Could be just for like an hour, could be just for like a day. We don't actually know anything about it. Maybe it's going to stay until the tour starts, would be cool. But I see a lot of people actually getting shiny, so I think it's going to be also a higher chance of getting them as shiny. So it might be the best opportunity for you to get rare costume shinies right now. That is basically it for Pokemon Go, other than the next season is gonna get announced. And this was actually announced already, like shown already before. We're gonna take out Urshifu and Kapfu. Kapfu is not going to be able to evolve until the end of the season, most likely, because it's going to be a quest line about like training your Kapfu. So basically, here you're gonna get both forms of Urshifu the season with that one. Like you can choose which one you're gonna want at the end of the day. At the current time, I made videos already about it, so you can take a look at my channel. They are on the thumbnail anyway. I think I made like 2 or 3 videos about Urshifu and how good they're gonna be in PvP. Long story short, the dark version looks way better currently to get than the water type version, but we don't know the next move update, and this can definitely change in between from them. But yeah, this is going to be it for Pokemon Go, as we're gonna see as well. We're gonna change over to the next game, which I think is Pokemon Pocket. No, it's actually Pokemon Sleep here, I think. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the Pokemon Go part already. That's all information that we got. I was expecting like season news or something like this. We don't get any of this. Hopefully tomorrow, like it should be tomorrow to be fair, because afterwards we have the weekend, and after the weekend, basically the new season starts already. So it has to be tomorrow for all of the information towards the new season, for PvP, for the general season. But of course, we at least know that Urshifu is coming. What's also coming is a new game, which you're gonna see here right now, which is focused on battling, which is going to be a mobile game as well, that connects directly to Pokemon Home. You need Pokemon Home in order to play this game, as far as I know, and you can basically do like those VGC battles as well now on your phone with like better graphics, which are also now portable also on the Switch. It's a game that is going to be currently in development. It is not out yet, but when it's out, it could actually kind of be maybe, yeah, putting Pokemon Go a little bit further back again, because like that's another battle game for Pokemon on the mobile phone, which is what Pokemon Go currently has as like its unique selling point. Looks kind of cool. What is also kind of cool is that you see here Mega Evolutions as well as Terrestrialization, which you're gonna see here at the same time in a battle, which has never been really the case before. So for the people who are interested in VGC, I think it might be like the new VGC format, just a better version or maybe of showcasing. Maybe it never actually has any potential, but I don't know. It's Pokemon Champions. I could see this being actually a very big thing for yeah, the competitive format, but I would assume that's gonna be like basically the new VGC where it's just an upgrade visually and what you can do, and like a little bit more easier for people to get into because they can also run it on iOS and Android. But yeah, that's currently in production, which is interesting. And the other thing is, of course, the new Pokemon game, which we're gonna take a look at here real quick as well and just have it on the background. That's the thing as well, like I don't want to really be like, oh, what a bad present, because the game itself looks really, really good. Like you might not see everything because of the face game or whatever, but the game itself looks actually like a really good game. Of course, gonna be set to Illumina City, the Kalos region there. And it honestly looks really cool. You have like those different kind of zones where wild Pokemon can just live freely, but you can move in there and just like catch them. What I don't understand is, why do you have one Gen 5 starter and two Generation 2 starters? I hope there's an explanation for this, because right now I feel like it seems a bit silly. Why do you not just go for 3 different generations like we had it for the last one? Why do you have 2 and then just like say Cyndaquil, I don't want Cyndaquil, we're just gonna have Tepig instead? I don't know. I feel like that's a very odd choice, but it's not something where I'm like gonna complain about. I just find it a bit of a weird choice, but like that's basically it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, how could they do this? The game itself looks kind of like Scarlet and Violet, but more of the better parts of Scarlet and Violet, like a little bit better graphically for sure. I think it looks great, to be fair. I think it's a good game from what I've seen so far. There's some interesting mechanics towards it, which you're gonna see later as well in terms of battling, which I feel like is going to be cool. I have no idea how he flies, but we're not going to talk about this one. And so, like, I'm just going to take a look at the standard trailer. There's going to be a little bit more of an in-depth thing, but as you can see here, there's a different battle format where you actually kind of walk around and try to dodge moves like this, which is kind of interesting. And of course, Mega Evolution comes back, and that's like the one kind of point where I'm like, could they not show us a little bit more? Like, there are going to be definitely new Mega Evolutions in the game. They're going to be most likely regional forms in the game, because it's going to play in like a little bit of a later and more industrial time for Illumina City. So why the hell are we not able to see any of that? We're gonna see here though, this Floette. This is Eternal Flower Floette, which never got released ever. It was in the code, had a signature move as well. I think it's like Line of Ruins or something like this. It has better stats than a normal Floette. I wonder if we're ever actually going to be able to get this Pokemon, because it would be actually cool for PvP if we ever get this like a special Pokemon in Pokemon Go. This Pokemon has actually really amazing stats, would be like legendary level stats, and has crazy good moves, so would be just trying to play this Pokemon in the Master League. Please, Niantic, just add it as like a promotion thing for the game release, because this Pokemon would be really cool to have actually in a Pokemon. Yeah, currently it is locked. I would assume that they're never gonna give it out, to be fair. I think it's just going to be like a story Pokemon and you're never going to be able to get it. But like, this is kind of cool that they kinda, yeah, show this Pokemon here. There's a lot of lore behind it. If you know the main series games, you know the lore behind it as well, so I don't really have to explain it. There's Zygarde, which I would assume going to be the main focus as well for like the next tour, because they're going to have the Kalos tour the next year, which is going to be interesting. So I would assume that Zygarde going to be the main focus of that one. So yeah, basically that is kind of it for this one. It is going to come here though at the end of the year. They don't show it here, I think, yet, or do they? I don't know. Like, we will see here as well that this is going to be quite an interesting one. We're going to see that that this is just going to be a little bit more explained now. It's Illumina City, we're surprised. And we're going to see like a little bit more of the scenery. What we haven't seen in the trailer at all is any kind of new Pokemon, any kind of new thing that hasn't been there before. But it all looks great. Like, if this is how the game looks actually, then we have a huge step forward, and I would really like it. But just with the history of the games, a lot of times I just don't really know if we can actually trust the thing. But we can just let it run here kind of through here as well. It's only a few more minutes anyway of this trailer. And yeah, this is going to be basically the people that you're going to meet here. We don't really have to talk about it too much. But I'm excited for the game. I think the game looks great. I think the game is going to be a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that we would have got a little bit more of more news after a year of not hearing anything about the game. I know there was like the ginormous leak, which kind of most likely postponed the production of it. We're going to hear, of course, a little bit more about what characters you're going to meet here as well. But generally speaking, I just wish there was like a little bit more to take a look and like kind of be hyped for already. Like one new Mega Evolution, like one more regional form or something. There's just something crazy. There, like, people would be like, oh yeah, I'm so excited for the game to be released. What I have to say though, the wild zones look really nicely done. I think it looks like a really good game. There's not really known about like the Pokédex. We don't know how many Pokemon are going to be in there. We don't even know if, of course, if they even are regional forms. because for the old games it made a little bit more sense, because the other Legend games were like so far in the past that like some Pokemon may just like die out afterwards or whatever, and like they had those old forms of Pokemon like Sneasel and like the Hisuian version of it that made sense. So I don't know if they can actually even put in regional forms in this one. It might be just with old Pokemon. I don't know actually what is going to be happening here. Here we see a little bit more of the battle style of the new game, which is kind of interesting as well. I wonder how balanced it's gonna be, but yes, Lostheart was kind of funny because they just went into it and they died from it. But it seems very dynamic, and I am definitely open for that. Like, I do think it looks kind of great. But again, it kind of depends on how this all gonna go. Again, here Mega Evolutions are going to be back, which we all knew before already. That's kind of cool, but again, like, we don't actually know that if there are like new ones, like there are leaks towards new ones, which I'm not gonna say in this video because I really want to have like leaks in here. But yeah, basically, I just really wonder what is going to be happening there. I wish just that there would have been a little bit more. Like here, for example, at this point I was like, oh, they're going to introduce a new Pokemon. No, they don't. They do not at all. But yeah, basically you kind of want to build up the city, make it more friendly for Pokemon and trainer. And you saw they're just like a little cell as well. And as you can see here, coming late in 2025. But there's one more thing, which you're going to see here right now. We're going to have the Rotom thingy coming in here, the Rotom phone, which was actually, I think, Generation 7 though, wasn't it? I don't know, I think they're just normal Pokédex there. But apparently there are promotion battles and whatever in the Lumiose Tower, so like there's going to be more of a battle aspect, I guess, towards the new game. So, I do think the new game looks great. I think the new game is going to be a lot of fun. I just wish we would have had like a little bit more to look forward to already, like new Pokemon, new Mega Evolution, stuff like this. Towards Pokemon Go, expect news tomorrow. Like, I cannot see any other day than tomorrow because we have Unova 2 afterwards, and then already in the 3rd the new season starts, so it has to be tomorrow for basically everything, so expect news there. This is going to be it for the small video here for the Pokemon Presents. Maybe I'll make another video later on, I have to see. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. See you then. Bye-bye.